Today in the crypto space, we see a slight dip to the downside. Bitcoin right around that $51,200 mark. Ethereum still below that $3,000 level, but trying to push above. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins are also coming down to slightly lower levels. There are some good gainers, but generally speaking, guys, be prepared for a further continuation to the downside because we could get a definite fire sale in the upcoming days. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin that is really doing good right now, and of course it's part of the Ethereum network, Uniswap. So let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. And the best part is, it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here. Bitcoin kind of still going sideways, no doubt, still within its range. However, it is down 1%. When you see Bitcoin coming down, even if it's 1%, 2%, something like that, you'll definitely see the altcoin market react. And this is why we're seeing a lot of the lower cap altcoins in the red. And for that matter, a lot of altcoins in general are a bit in the red, or at least going sideways, desperately trying to hold up for support. So you can see that even Ethereum is down approximately 1.5%, however, still within range. Bitcoin down 1%, but still within range. So all good for the larger caps, all good for the heavyweights, Bitcoin and Ethereum. But as we scroll down, you can see that some altcoins, some larger caps here, are definitely showing a bit of weakness. Now you can see AVAX is coming down, making those lower lows. We have Dogecoin looking for that bottom, got a little bit of a bounce here in the short term. We're looking okay here at the bottom of the range, no doubt. We have Chainlink still making those lower lows and lower highs. Maybe we're gonna get a bounce very soon. Maybe there's a bullish divergence right here at these bottoms. Could be very possible. Polkadot looking good too as that double bottom definitely printed. Really interesting stuff here. Polygon Matic showing okay, but the man of the match right now is Uniswap. Uniswap got a huge move to the upside. It's up approximately 50% today in the last 24 hours. And yesterday we talked about the fact that Uniswap was lagging behind the whole narrative, which is the Ethereum narrative. Ethereum getting an ETF could, happen. And of course, front running that idea is definitely part of the agenda for many traders. And considering that Uniswap is the DEX for the major DEX for Ethereum-based tokens, this is the reality. We're definitely seeing this DEX, start to run, based on the future expectations that Ethereum could become a ETF. So what could be here? Uniswap looking strong fundamentally. Uniswap is there, upgrades all the time. Good stuff happening on Uniswap for sure. And generally speaking, guys, right now is time to watch out and protect those gains. Now, I'm not saying it can't continue, but the way things are looking, guys, you're definitely in some good profits. So let's come up with a plan to protect those gains and the capital. Guys, we'll take a look at the rest of the market here. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, of course, and then we'll jump right into the Uniswap chart, see what's going on there. We definitely have sideways price action throughout the market. Higher highs on Filecoin looking pretty good, still grinding to the upside. In the short term, we're getting a bit of a dip, no doubt, but you can see that Filecoin is still grinding. It's up 43%, 44% in the last 7 days. Great stuff there for Filecoin, finally getting a good move to the upside. And we are seeing a lot of altcoins finally wake up. Near Protocol looks primed, ready to get a nice bounce to the upside, and perhaps breaking above that previous high might get a nice move for Near Protocol. Optimism, I'm surprised that it's not moving. Of course, we see Uniswap doing well. We see Ethereum ready to break out, and maybe these layer 2s on Ethereum for Ethereum are definitely going to start waking up soon, very soon too. But until this retracement happens, until this retracement's over, we could expect a little bit of a dip or continuation on these altcoins. Bitcoin is dragging the market down, even with that 1 or 2% dip. That's exactly what is happening here. Render down 4%. Render's been a great gainer. So, you know, a 4% dip after a almost 50% run in the last 7 days, guys. What else do you expect? Nothing to be afraid of here. We're still within structure. Higher highs, higher lows for render. Until we see market structure break and we see bearish divergence at some sort of resistance, guys, then we'll come up with a plan. But right now, not time to get emotional. Doing pretty good. What else do we have here? We have Lido doing okay, 4% pop to the upside. But look, lots of red. Say, Sui, lots of red here. And a lot of the projects that have shown a lot of strength in the last little while are dipping down a little harder. As I mentioned, you know, there's volume gaps below when you run up really hard. 14% to the downside here on Say, and approximately 9% here on Sui. So if we continue coming down, guys, I would be interested in buying the dip, but not just yet. I'm going to be very patient here on my entries because I want to buy at low levels. Let's continue. Algorand is a sleeping giant, in my opinion. It should wake up any moment. What else do we have here? Quant, still a stable coin, guys, here at $100. I don't know if Quant's going to start waking up any moment now, but the reality is, if it's going to wake up, it's got to wake up now. If you're a holder, guys, now is not the time to sell. If anything, expect it to break out based on the fact that the rest of the altcoin market is breaking out. And bit by bit, they're all kind of taking their turns. You can see that. Even Aave, DYDX is looking good right now, up 12%. Yesterday, we covered that live based on a request on one of the viewers. And all of a sudden, you know, I liked it. It looked bullish. The setup was great. And we're up 12%, guys. So the setup, great. Join me live tonight at 7:30, guys. We definitely find great entries and great opportunities that are definitely life-changing in the sense that we can make some good gains. Flared looking good, 18% to the upside. And if we continue going down the market, you know, there's a few opportunities here, but a lot of sideways, a lot of dip-ish type of price action. Helium coming down 8%, as you can see. And grinding up to SC is definitely grinding to the upside. Slow and steady, slow grind is very nice. But generally speaking, guys, we're getting a few dips, 8%. DYDX, as I mentioned, doing pretty good. Dimension is doing okay, 14% to the downside. So that's the thing here, guys. If you haven't yet bought in, you know, you're looking for lower levels, you're looking for horizontal support, wait for those scenarios to play out and then start getting in. EOS waking up a little bit. I'm not big on EOS. I'm not a big holder, and I'm not that interested in EOS, but nonetheless, it's doing pretty good here. Congrats with a nice move to the upside. It looks like it's making that higher high for a continuation to the upside. So a lot of good price action, no doubt. A lot of dip-ish price action, no doubt. A lot of sideways price action, no doubt. Guys, this is the way it is. Let the market resolve itself. We could see another pop in these altcoins, and we're slowly seeing a lot of these altcoins run bit by bit. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll take a look at, of course, we're going to take a look at Uniswap, because Uniswap at the end of the day got a nice bounce to the upside. And the question is, what should we be doing next? And it's all based on Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin continues showing this bit of weakness, we got to anticipate that the altcoin market will take a bit of a hit. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. You could see that generally speaking here on the daily, it's not looking the greatest here for Bitcoin. The RSI and the MACD is looking bearish. RSI clearly rolling over on a lower high. Okay, class A bearish divergence, higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the RSI. Nothing has really changed here. So that's one thing that kind of bothers me, because we are slowly grinding up and making those higher highs while the RSI is diverging. And in correlation, we also see the MACD not looking the greatest. Why? Because we got our EMA cross in the works, pretty much happened, and we got one little red histogram bar that has formed. Now, it wouldn't be nice to let the daily close so we can close this certain this setup right here to get that confirmation, because sometimes it opens up again and continues going up. So I'm compelled to be patient and let it resolve. And generally speaking, if Bitcoin does roll over, it's going to come down. But what about on those shorter term time frames? Is it likely that Bitcoin maybe get a bit of a bounce, maybe sweep the highs, maybe get to a slightly higher level, maintain a bearish divergence in the sense that we make a higher high on the price action, lower highs on this RSI? Remember, on the 4 hour, as long as this is downward sloping, let me show you what I mean. On the 4 hour, we also have a divergence. This is coming down very hard while the price action is downward sideways. So that's class B bearish divergence, but we could still make a higher high on the price action. A quick run up, quick sweep of the highs, and then all of a sudden make a lower low on the RSI. So we'll get bearish divergence on the daily, bearish divergence on the 4 hour, and then you're going to expect a lot of people using this as horizontal resistance and start shorting this market. It could be very possible. So be careful here. In my opinion, I'm not getting into any price action on Bitcoin Bitcoin. I do have a bias to the downside at the current moment. And if I am going to go short, guys, it's going to be based off a nice pop to the upside with low volume move and maintaining that bearish divergence at this resistance. I may enter that short as it reaches those higher levels. All right, guys, so I'll keep you posted. Join the Discord. That's the best place for me to keep you posted with what I'm doing along the way. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. I'm just sharing my journey into my trading throughout this bull run. So make sure you set yourself up with an account on the Discord. All right, guys, let's jump right into Uniswap. Uniswap, of course, you know, guys, this is the thing. And I'm going to get onto the larger time frames. Let's get onto the daily quick. Let's kind of center this a little bit. Yesterday, the day before, I mentioned that Uniswap was lagging behind. And the reason why I thought that this was weird is because if Ethereum is going to do well, if people are bullish on the fact that Ethereum is going to show us the way for the altcoin season, number one. Number two, that the ETF is around the corner, of course. And number three, Ethereum needs to catch up to Bitcoin based on the concept that its market cap hasn't really swelled up as Bitcoin's did. And if we want to see that altcoin season, we need to see Ethereum show a bit of strength. And definitely, this is a good sign to see that the decentralized exchange, the main decentralized exchange for ERC20s for Ethereum-based tokens, is finally waking up. Guys, this is not just a little pop. This is a 50% run. Okay, so remember our accumulation range down here at the bottom. Great range to get into. Green arrows, of course. You guys know that I put those green arrows in, and we start seeing double bottoms, slightly higher highs. Higher lows, slightly higher lows, which is really, really nice. And then all of a sudden, we come down to oversold conditions once and twice. And, you know, we start seeing a bit of divergence because it doesn't look divergent because of the wicks. But if you exclude the wicks, you know, the price action, the bodies of this price action is downward sloping. And because of that, we're seeing a bit of divergence right here to the upside. Very slight, okay, very slight. And that could give you a bit of confidence that we're making those higher lows on the RSI and that we should get that follow through. Not bad. But what really got me bullish is the fact that we made a low that really got oversold, that really came down with a lot of conviction, and then got that bounce as a confirmation of support. And not only once, but we came down again for another confirmation of that support. And ultimately, this is a good place to say, you know what, where can I put my stop loss? Where can I invalidate my bullish thesis? At these bottoms, guys. So the reality is the risk to reward ratio was super, super healthy. And then as soon as we saw this little, not even little, but this hump of volume basically build over time right into this price action, it started to give us the indication that market participation was interested. So volume right here, coupled with this spike of volume that created a point of control right into the sideways consolidation, could have given you enough indication that the market is ready to run. And to put a cherry right on the top, not only did we get all of that, but we broke out and back tested the 200 EMAs, a really good indication of support for a continuation to the upside, and got a nice bounce up. And guess what, guys? We broke all kinds of ranges. We broke these tops, lots of volume. You can't complain because look at all the market participation that built a position in here, that built a lot of strength for this continuation. There was no way that this resistance was going to hold all this market participation, right? So the reality is we hit our targets. Now we have a red arrow. This red arrow right here, this is the area that I was saying to watch out for, because if we get to the zone, we could get rejected again, because we got rejected here, here, and here. So we got to be protective here. Trail up a stop loss. If your entry was right here, at least trail it right here, just in case we get a quick rejection and come down. At least you can stop yourself out with a good bag of at least some gains. At least 50% of your profits will be saved essentially by having a stop loss, a trailing stop loss below. But then guess what? If you left the rest run, or even if you took 10% off the top right here to reduce your position size, no big deal. This thing kept on going. Why? Because at the end of the day, it broke out with some good volume. Look at the volume spike here on the volume on the volume bars. So ultimately, it had a lot of conviction in this zone, and it hit $12. My next zone for profit taking. The reason being, again, the logic here was that we had tops, and the volume profile showed the fact that we had a bit of a volume gap right here that should be protected by the bears. And ultimately, this is the liquidity zone. This is where if we came up for another level and started knocking at about $14, we're starting to hunt more liquidity at these bottoms. So the reality is there was a lot of market participation that was interested to hold the price down, and guess what, guys? It got that rejection. So we're good. That's the play-by-play. Now what? Now that we understand what happened, we can kind of expect that the market right now, the individuals that got into Uniswap are in some good gains. Now, what do you think? Are they going to protect those gains? And it's very likely that they will. Maybe not all of them. Maybe a lot of them are based on that, have the conviction based on the Ethereum narrative, which is very possible, and holding a position for a longer term for until, you know, Ethereum looks a bit frothy might be part of the agenda. But you got to understand right now, Uniswap is still up 50%, which is significant. So people that bought in the bottom are in basically a much more profits than 50, because the 50 is just for today. Even as we speak right now, 155% at its top, almost 187%, guys. So 155% is a lot of gains. If people got in with low leverage, even 5x, 2x, whatever it is, there's lots of profit here, and people are going to de-risk regardless. They'll de-risk. They'll take a bit of profits. They'll take 10% off the top or something like that. They'll trail up that stop loss. So the question is, what are you going to do about it, right? In order to maintain a profitable stance and call yourself a profitable trader, you need to realize some of those profits, right? So, but then at the end of the day, I also understand that you want to have some exposure to the volatility just in case this thing keeps on running. So let's talk about that. Could it continue running? No doubt. The next level resistance for me is at about $14. We do have a lot of bottoms here that could act as resistance for it to continue going up. But the real next zone is, I would say, the reality, maybe $23, we get a bit of a reaction, but I'm going to say that the majority of the resistance to continue going to price discovery and all-time highs and all of that good stuff is technically right around here. Okay, 23, what is it, $30 more or less. Let's put it a little bit, 31, $32 this high. All this volume right in here kind of, you know, if this volume right into this whole pocket can hold down the price, guys, look at all the volume here. Look at all the market participation. These guys won't be able to hold it down. There's not much in here other than a few individuals that bought the top that are salty, that will definitely take profits. But once that's done, you'll see that we'll potentially get a bounce and continue to the upside. So really what you're preparing for is a massive rally back to all-time highs. And the reality is Ethereum, it could lead Uniswap to that destination. And front running the idea, you know, buying the rumor, selling the news is potentially what people are doing here on Uniswap, Ethereum, and all Ethereum based tokens, and preparing their portfolio for it to happen exactly how it happened for Bitcoin. Guys, we're doing pretty good here. If you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to join me live tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. But you don't want to be buying these tops, so make sure you join so you can make those requests, and I'll put them in top priority. All right, guys, thank you for stopping by. Take care, have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.